Ready?
Nailed that. Good clap.
I'm quite a good clapper, actually.
The spiel. We are Ferris Sylvester. We are a folk blues and rock and roll band from the UK. We're here at South by. Our album has just come out. Our debut album, Superhuman, came out yesterday. Yeah, we're very excited to be here.
The album, we wrote it over a good couple of years, and we recorded half of it in Seattle with a producer called Ryan Hadlock, and half of it at Sawmill Studio in Cornwall, and with Michael Rendell. So it kind of represents the way we recorded it. We're trying to represent, we play sort of kind of American sounding music, but we're singing about very British things. You know, we're not singing about cowboy boots and pickup trucks, because we don't know as much about that. So we sing about what we know about.
I mean, we've always wanted to be an album band. You know, all of the people that we love and adore, the artists that we listen to, they're all album bands. We love to, you know, we buy vinyl and we like to listen, you know, from start to finish. That so much detail goes into an album. Obviously, detail it goes into a single and an EP as well, but there's something about taking the time to listen to a piece of work from start to finish, and you can really, you get more of a story. There's so much that you can get from an album that you can't get from doing it any other way. So it was something that we always wanted to do, but you know, we know that it's a big deal to record an album. It's a lot of work. You know, so hundreds of songs need to be written to get the songs good enough. You need to make sure that you're saying the right, you know, what you want to say, being who you want to be. So it was a long process, but we're so happy that it's out there now.
I don't know if there's that many easy things about recording an album. I think, I mean, lots of it was hugely enjoyable, and you know, but putting yourself out there, trying to define who you are as a band, as a group, over a collection of 12 songs, which it is in our case. Yeah, it presents a lot of challenges. First of all, there's two of us, we write together.
Yeah.
And that is, you know, amazing, and we push each other, and I think it's the best way for us to work. But also, sometimes we don't always necessarily come to the same decision straight away.
It can be hard. That can be really hard.
So that can be difficult, especially when, and then, you know, as you said, to get down to 12 tracks, it's not like you just write 12 tracks. We've probably whittled it down from, I don't know, say like 50 tracks. I'm not even sure, a lot. The best thing is probably to be able to listen through to when it's finished.
Yeah, that's the easy bit, when it's all done and you can sit and listen and you're like trying to get it with like fresh ears.
But even that, you're self-critical when you listen back and you go, oh, album 2, we're gonna do even better album 2. But we're very proud of this one.
So many bands do this differently, right? But playing live and how a song is on a record, I think for a lot of people it can be two totally different things. You know, it doesn't have to be. You know, if you want to go somewhere on a recording, go there. Don't not do it just because you can't replicate that live. And you know, we like to do everything live, so everything that you hear when we play live is, you know, there's no like backing tracks, clips, tracks, nothing. It's just, you know, the sound that we get on stage.
I think they should be. They can be crossovers, but you can get stuck. I think if you try and say, well, we can't record that because we won't be able to replicate it live, and vice versa. Just because it works live, it doesn't necessarily mean it will work on record. Sometimes it will, but sometimes it won't. So I think that you have to make a decision based on the song. I mean, personally, I don't want to go and watch a gig and hear like what I can hear on Spotify. I want to hear the live version of the song. I want to hear the artist's interpretation of it live, because the live, when you're in a live arena, it presents limitations which you don't have in the studio, which forces the artist to be creative. And I think that's really interesting, the way that different artists decide to represent their album material on stage?
We first came to South by in 2019, which was actually so strange. It was the last time it was on, and it was our first time, and it was sort of for us where our album project actually started, because we were working really hard. We had a lot of shows, but we met Ryan, the producer who did a lot of the tracks out in Seattle. Ryan Hadlock, and it was sort of it was sort of the starting point. So to be back here, 3 years on, COVID obviously stretching it out in the middle, with the album literally just fresh out yesterday, it's kind of nice. It's like full circle.
First time that we came in 2019 was the first time that we'd ever gigged in America, and it's a big deal, and we were really nervous, and you're going, right, okay, don't mess it up. And there's different things. I mean, when you're actually on stage and you're singing into a microphone, where everything's the same, but this is really, there's technical things that are different. Like, you don't realise that the voltage is different over here, so your equipment doesn't necessarily work. So we'd thought about it, but the first gig we did here, we just plugged in our gear and thought it was going to work, and none of it worked. So your guitar pedals don't work, and you're going, oh, okay, right, you got to think fast and then plug it straight into the amp. And so, that would be quite a boring bit of advice, but so important. Get your tech right before you get out here. Make sure you've got it absolutely nailed. Do all your rehearsals and then make sure you've got the tech bit nailed. And be aware that even if you've got it nailed in the UK, it will be different when you get here. Yeah. It won't work as you think it's going to work. So that threw us a little bit.
That is actually a very good piece of advice, the technical side. Non-technical side, I think, is, when we came, it was like the best experience of our lives. It's so much fun. And I think it's important, it can be kind of nerve-wracking, it can be, as Archie said, quite overwhelming, but if you can have a good time and really try and be, present and enjoy it, especially, after the 2 years that we've had, I think that would be my piece of advice, because, when we came last time, I think we did like a dozen shows. We were so tired. We were literally so overwhelmed the entire time. It wasn't until we stepped back that we realized how amazing it was. And also, there is always people to meet, things to do. You never know where the day's going to take you. So, yeah.